Welcome everybody to English 2, Unit 10, Lecture 2. We're going to continue with the lesson by focusing on some speaking and self-practice activities. Now, if you look at page 78 and 79, you can see that there are 3 activities. Okay. We're going to actually start on page 79 with the self-practice 1 activity. Okay, so that's maybe the better place to start. That gives us a bit of practice with the grammar lesson that we had in the first lecture. Okay, so at the top of page 79, the self-practice activity is a matching exercise. And as you can see, it says here, match each statement on the left with the correct tag on the right. Okay, so I think you can figure this out. We're going to do some matching. Okay, we got to fill in the blank. So in each of these blanks here, you can just write the letter, the correct letter that matches. Now the example is already done. Okay, so we have a statement, and one of these tags is the match. I think we know the answer is A. So you booked the event location, didn't you? Okay, right. So we know that's correct. You have a subject pronoun is you. Okay, so that matches with you. And what's the verb? The verb is book. Book. Register, a reserve. Okay. A 예약해라. Okay. So so that would be the verb. There's no modal, and book does not take a does not have a it's not a be verb, and there's no modal there. So it's just going to take the do or don't. Okay. So this is positive, and it's in the past tense. So this is negative and in the past tense. So there's also a you. So this is the match for the example. Okay. Now, numbers 1 through 10, they're not as easy to figure out. There's more matching. They're not across from each other. Just a few things to note. You want to make sure that the subjects match up. A few of these, Dr. Frank Lee and Jeff. Okay, these are male individuals, so we're going to look for subject pronouns, subject pronoun he. Okay, and Shannon is rarely a man's name. I think of it as a woman's name. So we're looking for a subject pronoun she. Oh, where could that be? Okay. All right, I'll let you do the matching exercise. Just put the letter for the correct tag in one of these blanks, or all of these blanks, and then we will review when you are finished. Let's check this out and see how we do. All right. So number 2, as I mentioned before, we have somebody named Shannon, and that is a woman. So Shannon contacted the guest speakers, didn't she? Okay, so we know the answer for number 1 is I. Okay, so we can put that one right there. So Shannon contacted the guest speakers, didn't she? So again, we're using the modal do, because contact is not the be verb. It does not have a modal. Okay. Modals, we know them. And number 3, you can meet with the design team tomorrow. Okay, so it must be you. Okay. And this verb here has a modal, can. So the answer, G. You can meet the design team tomorrow, can't you? Okay, so again, this is my opinion. I think you can I think you can meet the design team tomorrow. Am I wrong? Can't you? 4. Dr. Frank Lee will not attend. Okay, so we have the verb here. It's negative, and we have a modal. So the modal will be the positive form. Since this is negative, we're looking for the positive. I already said Dr. Frank Lee is a man, so that's either B or K. Okay, so Dr. Lee will not attend. Will he? The answer for number 4, B. Number 5, we have to organize a VIP dinner. Okay, we have to organize a VIP dinner. So we must organize a VIP dinner. Okay? Again, the subject is we, okay, and it gives us 2 options. Okay? Do we or don't we? Okay. Okay, so we must organize a VIP dinner, mustn't we? No. So we have to organize a VIP dinner, don't we? Okay. Number 1, I guess I left this one out, would be the other we answer. Okay. We don't need any more flyers, do we? So the modal is here. It's do, and it's negative. So we need a positive do, and that's right here. So answer for number 1 is F. Okay. Number 6, you didn't already send the invitations, did you? Right. Okay. So we have a modal, it's the past tense, it's negative, so we need a positive, not did not, did. Subject is you. Okay. Did you? Did you, did you, did you? Number 7, the tickets arrived yesterday. Okay, so again, the verb here, positive. Okay, it's in the past tense. Okay, there's no modal. This is not the be verb. So the tickets, the tickets arrived yesterday, didn't they? Okay, so this is positive, so we need a negative. All right, so this is the past tense. This is negative, and the subject matches. The tickets arrived yesterday, didn't they? 8, here's another they subject. In this case, it's people, the caterers, okay, the people who have a catering company. The caterers are available. It's a be verb, okay, and it's positive. So we need a be verb that's negative. Aren't they? Are not they? So the caterers are available, aren't they? The answer is H. Jeff will help us. Okay, the verb is help, but there's a modal, will. Okay, now this is easy. We know the subject pronoun is he. The modal is will. That's positive, so we're looking for a negative will and a he. Answer K. Jeff will help us, won't he? Number 10, planning a conference is difficult, isn't it? Okay, it being planning a conference. Okay, we have the be verb, so is not. Okay, so isn't it? Answer for 10, C. Okay. So I hope that's easy to figure out, and I think probably most of you got that correct. Okay. And again, if you need to refer back to the original grammar that we looked at, go back to page 77. That can help you with all the explanations. Okay? We looked at this in the lecture in the first hour. Good. Okay. So that concludes that. I think you'll be ready to do the next activity. Okay. See if you can get the next activity here. Okay, so we're going to do the speaking activity. As with most speaking activities, you can do this on your own or with a partner. Okay, partner if you have one. Okay. So as it says here, it says decide with a partner where to add 2 tag questions in each brief conversation. Okay. So it might be more than one possible answer. So you're going to add 2 tag questions to each conversation. In the example they give you, there's 3 possible places, but you only need to find 2. Okay. So look at the first one. The conversation is, you don't like Beth. She's okay. And why do you and your friends ignore her at school? We don't ignore her. You do. I talked with her sister and Beth feels upset. You should try to be nicer. Okay, so there's many different ways to try that. Okay? So what you need to do in all of these examples, okay, what you need to do is you need to identify where you can add a tag question. Okay? Now we know from the lecture that you're looking at opinions. So in the example given here, okay, so this is not a fact, this is my opinion of you. My opinion, you don't like Beth. I think you don't like Beth. Okay, but I'm going to put a tag just to make sure. You don't like Beth, do you? Okay. So again, my opinion, and I'm just checking. You don't like Beth. Am I wrong? Okay. This person, she thinks that she doesn't ignore Beth. We don't ignore her. Do we? Okay. I'm asking. This is my opinion. Am I wrong? Okay. And another possible one, you should try to be nicer, shouldn't you? Okay. Because Beth feels upset. Okay, my advice, you should try to be nicer. Not just my advice. What do you think? Do you agree with my advice? Shouldn't you try to be nicer? Okay. All right, so in all of these situations, there's a possibility to turn an opinion, okay, into a question, or you're checking to make sure they have the same opinion. Okay, you're checking to see if your opinion is correct. All right, try these. Be careful, but you got several dialogues here on page 78, 4 of them. See if you can find 2 places where there's an opinion, and you can turn it into a, you can add a question to check your answers. Okay? All right, take a break. Hit pause, and we'll come back here and review that when you are finished. All right, that should be enough time. So let's see what we can do here. So in the first dialogue, okay, so you're trying to find 2 places that you can add a tag. Okay, so someone's giving an opinion, it's a statement, and maybe it's information they don't totally know. Okay, maybe they are not 100% sure. Okay? Now the first one, I want to buy a house. Okay, that's the person wants to buy a house. That's almost a fact. Okay. Here, we can't afford it. So I would probably put the tag here, and probably another one here as well. Okay. We can't afford it. Can we? Okay. So again, the subject, the modal is negative, so we'll put the modal afterwards. We can't afford it. Can we? If you get a promotion, you won't have any time at home, will you? Okay, so again, this modal is negative, so we'd want a positive one. Okay. Right, so the positive form of won't, will. Subject is the same. You won't have any time at home, will you? If you want to include another one here, I guess that's fine. If I get a promotion, we'll have more money, won't we? Okay, so there's three possibilities. I think the B turns are the best options. Okay? And you'll see that in these conversations, it's usually one person giving the opinions. Okay. Your mother is coming to stay with us in April. Right, so there's probably one right there. Okay. And probably another one there. Okay. Your mother is coming to stay with us in April. Okay, that's what I think. Am I wrong? Right. Your mother is coming. So the verb, be. The subject, she. Okay. So it's one individual, and she's female. So your mother is coming to stay with us in April. Isn't she? Is not she. Okay. We should set up the spare bedroom. Shouldn't we? Okay. So again, the modal is here. Make it, if it's positive, make it negative. So instead of should, shouldn't. The subject is the same. We should set up the spare bedroom. Shouldn't we? All right, so the rest of them are pretty much facts or facts or something that they will do in the future, which is a bit more difficult for the for using a tag. All right, to the bottom half of the page. Okay. Now again, with some of these, you're looking at some kind of fact. Okay, so you don't live in Boston. Okay, that's my opinion of where you live. So it sounds strange on its own. So you should have a tag here. B, no, I live in Cambridge. Okay, so that's pretty much a fact. Okay, there's no opinion about it. Okay, that's right. You're studying at Harvard. So again, that's my opinion. Am I wrong? Okay. And again, we're talking about me, so obviously the answers are not opinions, okay? About his basic life, what he's studying, where he's attending, okay? So the answer for A, you don't live in Boston, do you? You don't live in Boston, do you? No, I live in Cambridge. That's right. You are studying at Harvard, aren't you? Okay. I think that's all you got there. And the last one, all right, so obviously this first sentence does not need a tag. It's already a question. Okay, so you don't need to put a question on the end. Can I see the report? Can I? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's already asking, can I see the report? Probably the best places are here and here for the answers. You could put one here, but these sound better. You'll finish it on time. Won't you? Okay, so the modal is will. It's shortened here. You will. You'll. Okay, so you will finish it on time. Won't. Will not. You. Okay, so will not. We don't say will not. We usually say won't. So you will finish on time, won't you? Okay. The boss says, I'll expect it, or I'm expecting it. You won't disappoint me, will you? Okay, so just the basic opposite here. So you won't disappoint me. You won't disappoint me, will you? Okay. You won't disappoint me, will you? So again, this is negative, make it positive, and the subject stays the same. Okay. Good. So your answer should look something like that. And if you have the ebook, of course, you can go to the translation. I'll seem to be about here for some reason. All right, all the different translations of the conversation that are here. Okay. All right, let's move on. We're going to go back to page 79 and look at the self-practice there. and see how we do. Okay, this is kind of a review, kind of not a warm up, but a warm down. We're going to read the conversation about a hike in the woods. Find and correct the mistakes in the use of tag questions. Okay, so Fred and Jim are having a conversation. Okay, throughout the conversation, there are a number of tags. I think you can find them. There's one here, one there, and they seem to be at the end of each turn. So that's about 6 of them. As the first one's done. Now you'll notice with the first example here, Fred says, "Hiking was fun, isn't it?" Okay, sounds funny to say it. So Fred was almost correct. He identified the be verb, identified it was positive. Okay, and so here he took the be verb and he made it negative. Okay, and he got the subject pronoun correct. Okay, hiking is a thing. It is an activity, not a who, not a he or a she. Okay, but it is an activity, a thing, it. Okay, so everything is correct except the tense. Okay, so was is the past tense of is. Okay, so you don't change the tense. Okay, Fred was talking about the past. Okay, we don't change it to the present in the tag. So the correct answer is not isn't, but wasn't. So again, be verb, negative, subject pronoun is correct. The tense was incorrect. Okay. So sometimes they're using the past tense, okay, and sometimes they are not. Okay. So what I want you to do is go through the dialogue, read it, and change the make the corrections for each tag in the dialogue. Okay. As per usual, you can stop the track right now, and when you're finished changing, we'll go over the answers. All right, so in each of these examples, we were able to find out, again, where the tags were. And so what I've done is I've highlighted the subject and verb of each of the statements that come before the tag. So the first one, that rain was intense though, wasn't that? Okay. Okay, so again, everything looks correct. We have a be verb, past tense, positive, negative. Everything looks good. Why is it wrong? You need a subject pronoun. Okay, and that is not the subject pronoun for that rain. That rain, okay, much like hiking, okay, as I said, is a thing. It's not a person or a group of people. The answer for here would be it. Okay, so that rain was intense though, wasn't it? Okay, and that's going to be your answer there. So the correction, just remove that. Next one. You were a little scared too, were you? Okay. Okay. The subject pronouns match. Be verb, past tense. Okay. Again, this one is positive, so this one should be negative. The answer, weren't. Okay, so the answer for right here should be weren't or were not. So in tags, we always use the contraction form. Okay, so we never say was not that, or was not it, or were not you. Okay, it's a weren't you, or wasn't it. Okay. This sentence, I'm pretty good with directions, amped I. Okay, so this is what I was talking about yesterday. This is all correct. Be verb, positive, negative, present tense, everything works out exactly as I've asked you to look here in these other examples. But for some reason, in English, we don't say amped. You could say ain't, but we don't. I don't know how common that is. The correct answer is aren't. Okay, and we can see that on the grammar explanation. Okay, so the tag for the be verb with I is aren't I? Okay. Jim, what does he say? You are better than me, but it took you a long time, didn't you? Okay. So everything's fine here. Past tense, positive, negative. Okay. There's no modal, so we'll put the do auxiliary verb. Okay. So that's all fine. The problem is the subject pronoun. It and you do not match. Okay. But it took you a long time, didn't it? Okay. Try this one. But you took a long time, didn't you? This might be another way to correct it. And they both have the same meaning, so that's fine. Okay, so try that. But you took a long time, didn't you? But it took you a long time, didn't it? So both are fine, just make sure they match. What does Fred say? We're still going hiking again next weekend. Aren't we? All right, so the verb is are, so not will. Okay. So if there was a will somewhere in here, that would be correct. The subjects match, it's just the verbs do not match. So this is a positive be verb, okay? And even the tense is wrong, right? All right. So we're still going hiking again next week, aren't we? Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, let's start off with on page 80, the classroom activity. You're going to do number 1 on your own. Let's read it and see what it says. Rob is talking to his classmate Anne. That's them. Compare their conversations in A and B. So you have conversation A, conversation B. Which conversation seems friendlier? Why? Okay, I think you can see the conversation here. I'll just read out A. Rob says, "Hi, Anne. How are you?" "I'm fine." "The weather's nice today, isn't it?" "Yes, it is." "What are you doing after class?" "I'll probably go home." "Okay, I'll see you later." Okay, so you can see that, and I guess apparently this is the situation they're in. Take some time and read the B dialogue. Same people, same speaking strategies, except this one is a bit different. Now the question, which conversation seems friendlier, A or B? Okay. Press pause and then we'll resume when you're finished. Okay, so in these dialogues, so again, which of these two dialogues is friendlier? Okay. It's your own opinion, but probably most of you stated that B was friendlier, was more friendly. It was. It looked like this was the participants were happier to be talking in this dialogue than this one. Key feature is that in all of Anne's responses, she's answering them fairly quickly, and there's no follow-up questions, whereas in B, she's engaging in the conversation, okay? And she's asking questions as well. Okay? So in this one, it sounds like she's just answering the questions. That's good. You can see at the first two turns. "Hi, Anne. How are you?" "I'm fine. How are you?" As opposed to, "Hi, Anne. How are you?" Good. All right. Maybe she's as a reason for not wanting to respond to Rob. Anyway, but we can distinguish which one is friendlier. Okay. So what you're going to do here is you're going to write your own conversation between Rob and Anne, and you're going to make it more friendly, much like this. You're going to have them both engaged in the conversation. Okay, maybe as a tip, you can look at these two friendly people and imagine they are good friends and want to understand more about each other. Okay? So in this, you're going to choose one of the topics below, or any other topic, but very common topics like family, the weather, as we had before, travel, pop culture, anything else, and just write a dialogue. The key is that it's not like maybe an interview, like dialogue A, where one person's asking all the questions, but maybe where they're having a discussion, where both people are talking. Okay? Now, I can't review it for you, but that's a good practice to have, and you may see a similar dialogue, similar question on your written test. So give that a try, writing for Rob and Anne. Okay? If you have any questions, I'm sure your professor would like to hear. Okay, that concludes Unit 10. I may see you next week, and good luck.